Hey everybody, this is Bruce. Glad to be back. Glad to be doing more videos. Today I'm going to just do a quick video to address a particular topic that was, a question that was asked in the inbox. Thank you very much for the questions. I don't remember who asked this, so forgive me, but I'm going to address it not because a specific person asked it, but because a specific person asked a question that is commonly addressed when it comes to homosexuality in Christianity. So that question is about creation. There's a saying that I'm using for the title of this video that goes, God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And so the argument is from the creation story in Genesis 1 about, God creating, male and female, and the two shall become one, and man shall leave his father and go cling to his wife, and and even not even that, but just the fact that God created Adam and Eve, a man and woman, to be together, and from that point springs what I found to be the new bedrock argument against homosexuality, for justifying why it's considered a sin, why it's wrong, why it's worth condemning. From my personal experience, I was surprised that this argument was the bedrock argument for all my friends' arguments who came to me and debated about homosexuality being a sin or not. And that was like the last basic argument that they came down to. It wasn't Leviticus 18:22. It wasn't Romans 1. It wasn't any of those scriptures. That was what they came out with first. But at the end of the day, it was all about Adam and Eve. And I found that very strange because, for me, my understanding, that really has nothing to do with the homosexuality whatsoever. At least the other arguments, at least the other verses that are commonly used to condemn homosexuality, at least they talk about something that could be viewed as homosexuality. At least it sounds like it to the naked eye. Or I know that didn't make sense. That phrase, it sounds like to the naked eye. But anyway, at least that kind of sounds like something like homosexuality. But Adam and Eve, that creation story, has nothing to do with homosexuality. It doesn't mention it at all. It doesn't even say anything that you could use to twist it to say that therefore condemns homosexuality. It's really just a really big leap to a conclusion from which there was no place, there was no foundation to jump from. You know what I mean? It's just not. There's no place to argue that, and I'm not really going to get too much into it. I was just going to keep this a short video. But that's pretty much my argument, is that there's nowhere to really condemn. You can't do it because it just doesn't talk about it. And my point ultimately is that just because it's not talked about doesn't mean that it's automatically wrong. I mean, so you're gonna have to come up with a better argument than that. I'm going to end with this. There's a little story from a guy named Michael Piazza, who is a pastor of multiple metropolitan community churches, MCC churches, one in Jacksonville, where I'm from, my hometown, Jacksonville, Florida, and also in Dallas, where the largest MCC church is. He was, I believe, pastor there. Right now, it's 2013, and I believe he pastors at a church, which is not MCC technically, but obviously open and affirming because he's gay himself. And it's up in Atlanta, Virginia Highlands Church. Anyway, so I read this book that he wrote called Gay by God. I think I have it. Oh, look. Right here. Yeah, Gay by God by Michael Piazza. And it just talks about how, let's see. In Gay by God, How to Be Lesbian or Gay and Christian, Reverend Michael S. Piazza updates his best-selling book, Holy Homosexuals, the truth about being gay or lesbian and Christian for a new generation struggling with shame, guilt, and fear as they come out to family and friends. So I didn't expect to actually do a ploy for him, but there you go, Michael Piazza. You're welcome. So anyway, he's also an activist. You'll find that out very quickly. in his preface, in the opening of that book, or it is either in the preface or in the introduction, he tells a story. So he's married, not legally. He got married in Georgia. He had a regular wedding, which I applauded. He did that back in the 1980s before anyone ever thought of it. And they adopted 2 daughters, so they have a regular family. And he tells us, in the introduction of his book, Gay by God, he tells a story about one of his girls at school when they were little. They're both grown now. And the teacher, uses that phrase about when referring to homosexuality, God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And his daughter raises her hand and she asks, if God created Adam and Eve, then who created Adam and Steve? So it's just just makes the point that God created everyone, including homosexuals, and so I mean, like I said, it just doesn't make sense to exclude one population from the other when God created both, and so from that aspect, even though Adam and Steve aren't mentioned, Adam and Steve were definitely there. they were definitely around. They've always been around, and which would explain why it can't be condemned because God created them too, and so God created the homosexuals as well as the heterosexuals along with them, and so because it's an inherent trait. Anyway, I love you guys. Please subscribe, watch this video, tell your friends, like it, favorite it, share it on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere and anywhere. We want to help this reach and encourage more young people or anybody who's struggling or anybody who's trying to understand. If you're straight and you're a Christian and you're trying to understand how all this works and how homosexuality in the Bible can line up, definitely you want to, or you have a friend like that, then you definitely want to get them watching these videos. They'll be especially helpful for them. So keep watching, subscribe. God bless.